Hello everyone, welcome to Deep Course, and in today's video we will be starting a new video series on Node.js. So this video series on Node.js would cover Node.js in the most practical manner. So we will be understanding the Node.js intuitively, the user requirements, and also will code according to that. Then we will be building 5 different applications in the Node.js, and by building this application we will learn the concepts of Node in the most simplest manner. Further, all the videos will be short and precise, and the code and the important links will be always provided in the description. So make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. So guys, this video would be the introductory session on Node.js. So where we will be talking what is Node.js and also discussing about the architecture of the Node.js. So this video is very much important in terms of your interview perspective, because in most of the interviews you are asked about the event loops related question and also some basic things about Node.js. So make sure you pay attention to this video. This is very much important and would be the base or the foundation of the next 5 projects that we will be building in the Node.js. Correct? So now starting with this. So if somebody asks you what is Node.js, then there are 2 to 3 words that must come to your mind. So one is Node.js is open source. First thing is it is open source. Second thing is Node.js is a cross-platform. Third thing is it is a server-side application. Server-side JavaScript application. Okay. See, now discussing these terms. What does open source mean? Open source means the code of complete Node.js framework is openly available in the GitHub, and so that's why it's open source. Anybody can view the code and contribute to the technology. The second thing is cross-platform. Now Node.js is a cross-platform because it is built on top of Google's V8 engine. So this Google V8 engine is primarily built in C++, and since this Google V8 engine is a cross-platform, this Node.js is itself become a cross-platform, right? Correct? So yeah, that's the reason that why Node.js is cross-platform. And another way to prove that it is cross-platform is, see, any application built on Node.js will work on all the different operating systems, whether it may be Mac OS or Windows OS or Android or iOS, it will work. So yeah, by that way also we can prove it is a cross-platform application. And the third term, this is the most important term, is server-side JavaScript application. So server-side means, see, now before going to the server-side, let me first explain you the client-server architecture. So this is very fundamental architecture or model, client-server model, that everybody must know. So who is client? Client is a person like you and me who send the request via web browsers, correct? So this is a computer, let's say, and here you have open Chrome browser. Okay, so this is a client, and with a client here is a server. Okay, here let's assume this is a server. Okay, so this client, what does this does? Client sends a request and server sends a response. And this complete model is known as client-server architecture. Got it? Client-server architecture, where client sends a request via some web browsers or some applications, and the server responds back. So this is a simple client-server architecture. See, whenever you type google.com, so you type google.com, that means you are requesting some resource of google.com. So this requesting is known as client is sending a request, and when a server sends the complete web page, correct? When you type google.com, you will receive a complete web page, and that web page is known as response. So this is a request and response, and these are the part of client-server architecture. So as I told you, the Node.js is a server-side JavaScript application. That means Node.js somewhere lies here. So all the requests that are requested by the clients are handled by the Node.js applications, and Node.js itself sends a response, right? So Node.js come here, right, at the server side. So this is what server-side JavaScript app means. So now you got it. What is Node.js? Node.js is an open source framework that is cross-platform and is used to build server-side JavaScript application. Correct? Simple it is. Okay, so now moving forward. Now, what are some of the major features of the Node.js due to which developers use Node.js? Correct? See, Node.js has some important features that we need to talk about. See, one is non-blocking API. Second thing is event-driven architecture. And the third is server-side scalable application. It is used to build server-side scalable application. So these are the major reasons that due to which a developer will choose Node.js. Now this some of the terms like non-blocking API, event-driven architecture, these are some might be new to you. So now we will discuss and deep dive into this. These are very much important terms with respect to Node.js, as well as whenever you are building a server-side application, this non-blocking term is very much important. Okay. Now let me tell you what is difference between blocking and non-blocking. Okay. See, here we are non-blocking API, but before that, let me tell you what is blocking and what is non-blocking. So blocking is, let's say you are requesting something and the response takes some time, like it takes 1 second, 2 seconds, few microseconds also to get the response, right? So during that period, nothing else execution happens, no processes happens. So that is a blocking state. Whereas in non-blocking, let's say you requested something, it takes some time, let's say 2 seconds, but within this 2 seconds, another functionality gets implemented. So this is non-blocking manner. Okay, now let us understand this with the help of an example. Okay, so guys, as you can see here, that here I have one query. This is in a blocking state. I'll explain you why this is a blocking and why this query is not blocking. Okay, the first thing, see here we are storing this query result like select star from some entity where id equal to 1. So this will then this is storing the result, and then we are doing some processing in the result. Correct? This is the one thing we are doing here. Now whenever you run some SQL query like this will take some time, like very small time, 0.001 seconds. But this time is a wasteful, because here in the blocking state we are not doing anything during this time. Correct? So this is a blocking manner. But in the Node.js, what Node.js have? Node.js have callback functions, and with the help of callback function we can perform something in a non-blocking manner. And let's see how we can use this callback function. See, see, this is one this is the process query, right? This is the process query. Okay, and this is one callback function query finished. That means after processing the query, when the query will be finished, this function will call. But let's say after this, here you have something like this, console.log. Let's say here. Okay, something like this in the console you are printing. So how the like execution will begin? Execution start from this point, but it is a function, it won't go here. This is just a definition, then execution reaches here. Now due to this non-blocking thing, what it does is our Node.js will print this here, then it will print the result. Why? Because this query takes some time. Correct? Query always takes some time, because this query has to go to the connect to the database, go to the database server and get the result and then print. So this will take some time, but within that time our cursor or the execution will move forward and this next line will get executed. And this is how non-blocking works. And whenever this query execution is done, so we have one callback function. So this function that is called after the execution of something, so that's why this is known as callback. Correct? This is callback, and this callback function is then called to process the result of the query. So guys, as you can see that here we are using the resource. So what is our major resource? Our main resource is CPU. So here our CPU was idle for some seconds, but in this non-blocking manner our CPU is not idle for even for a fraction of second, right? Not just for a fraction of seconds. So that's why we can say non-blocking is today's technology where we utilize our CPU to its extent. Like we try to utilize the CPU as much as it is possible by using a non-blocking manner. So I hope you guys understood what is blocking and non-blocking till now. Okay, now moving forward. The next thing that I told you here is event-driven. Now event-driven architecture. This is the complete architecture of the very major feature of the Node.js. So understand it carefully, that it would be easy to understand everything. Okay. Now before moving ahead, let us first discuss what is an event. So many of you have a doubt that I am talking about event-driven, but what is an event at first? So event is nothing but anything that is happening is an event. Let's say you clicked on a mouse, so that is an event. You hover over a button, then that is one event. You type something, that is another event. So anything that you perform, anything that a client performs on the client side can be recorded as an event at the server side. Correct? Got what is an event? Anything that you do on the client side, whether opening a link, clicking on a button, or hover, or typing, then all these are the different forms of event, and we can capture this all types of event in the backend. Okay, so this event driven, as the name suggests, that whenever a client does something, we do some processing at the backend. So it is event driven architecture. But this event driven architecture happens in asynchronous manner. This is complete event driven architecture. So there is one event loop concept that we will discuss in a few minutes. And this complete event loop concept is asynchronous. See, synchronous means blocking. Things happen one after the other. After, so let's say here we want result. Then after only we will process with the result. Correct? This is what we are doing in the blocking side. So the same thing is done in a synchronous side, that where we perform all the steps in a sync, right? But in a asynchronous manner, we don't do like that. This is a non-blocking is a type of asynchronous event. Okay. Now to get a better example of what is asynchronous and how it is related to the event loop, let's take a look at one example. Okay. So here I have opened our Node.js IDE and I will quickly show you one thing. Okay. So I will provide you the link of this IDE here. I'm using JDoodle IDE. Okay. So let me take this. So let me print something, console.log1. I'll explain you what I'm trying to do here. Okay, so as you guys can see that here I am console.log in JavaScript is just a print ln or C out of C++, okay, or system.println in Java. So it is same as that will print the values in the console. So now I will ask you to guess the output. What will be the output of this code? So try to think and let me try to execute here. So guys, as you can see that this number 1 is printed first, it was obvious, then 3 got printed, then 4 and then 5, and at the last 2 got printed. Okay, why? You might be confused. See, this is a timer function and we have set a timeout for how much? 1 milliseconds. Okay, now let me change from 1 to 0. Let me try to execute. Will be there any change in the output? No, there are no changes. See, first 1 got printed, then 3, then 4, then 5, and the end 2. Why? This is because of the event loop. This is how the event driven architecture of a Node.js works. Okay, so the thing is, whenever we encounter set timer function, so this set timer function will take some time. Even if it is a 0 seconds, then also this function will be loaded in a web API. See, let me try to draw and explain you this complete thing. See, make sure you guys have complete attention over here. This is the major part of the Node.js, that is the event driven architecture. So in a architecture we have some few things. So let us call, there is a call stack. So these things are at the backend of the Node.js, or on which the Node.js works. There is some web APIs. So let me build one container for web API, and there are some callback queue. Okay, this is the callback queue. Now whenever our function hit console.log, the console.log, it will come here. Okay, it will get executed. See, this will got execute, this execute. Okay, now console.log will come, it will get executed. Now our second thing was what? Our second thing was set timeout. So whenever the set timeout function will get called, set timeout. So this function will be passed on to the web API container. Okay, it will come here, set timeout. Now from here the function will wait up till the seconds it is defined. So it may be 0, 10, 20, 50, 100. So how much time it will be, we have added that much time it will be in the waiting state. But whenever that function will be in waiting state, another statement will come into execution, that we have seen. That's why we have that statement of printing 4, 5, 3, 4, 5 would come into the call stacks, and that will get executed. Until this time this is in a waiting state, and after waiting this into waiting state, this will come into this queue. Correct, this will come into callback queue, and after the call stacks is empty, things will be passed from callback queue. So the thing is, see, whatever statements are there, it will be first placed in the callback stack. Okay, this is a call stack, they are all placed in the call stack. Now if you have some API function like this, like set timeout, then for that API will get called. Okay, now this will be in idle state up till the time you have defined. So during that idle state, our next statement starts executing, and that is the reason that console.log 3, 4 and 5 gets printed. Okay, and then whenever this timer get finished, it will be passed to callback queue, and after all the call stack is completed, this callback queue will pass the statement to call stack after it is empty. So this is how the complete event-driven architecture works, and it works in asynchronous manner. Asynchronous manner means if we have some waiting, then we will try and execute the next statement. We won't wait. Means that waiting state will be handled by something else known as web APIs and a timer thing, but we won't wait. The whole code bit won't wait, and it will start executing the next lines of code. So this is the event-driven architecture, and it works in asynchronous manner. So yeah, I hope you guys understood this concept. This was very important concept of the Node.js. Okay. So yeah, till now we have understood that what is non-blocking API, what is event-driven, and yeah, it is used as a server-side scalable application. Server-side we already discussed, and yeah, Node.js is definitely used to build scalable application because it is a single-threaded and it has features like non-blocking API, so it can handle large amount of requests efficiently. That's why we can build a scalable application by using Node.js. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this video. So I hope you guys understood the what is Node.js still here, what is the architecture of Node.js. These two main things we have covered in this video, and now in the next further videos we will cover some another things like what is Node package manager, and we will start off by building our first application in Node.js. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to our channel and make sure you keep watching this playlist. So I guarantee that after watching this playlist, you have complete logical understanding, practical understanding of what is Node.js. See, I won't go into the theory. I will explain you each and everything in a practical manner. So yeah, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.